Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Welcome to the Jeff Dye Friendship Podcast, episode 40. Big shout out to Sean Kemp. That's our favorite 40 ever. We love you, dude. You're the best, the Rain Man. You're our Bo Jackson. We love you in Seattle and everywhere we roam. This episode is a fun one because we talk about a forbidden subject. At least forbidden when I grew up. You didn't talk about sex. It's not a thing. Tony doesn't even have sex. And Aaron only makes inappropriate sex jokes because he's deflecting all the time. But we get into all that. In fact, that's exactly what I say. With our guest, Emily Morse from Sex with Emily. She has a podcast. She's a doctor. She's very mature about that stuff, which will be interesting because me, Tony, and Aaron aren't very mature with this kind of stuff. So it could be great. But we're listening to you, Patreon subscribers. We're listening to you, people that are listening on iTunes and everywhere else. You wanted more female guests? We're giving you more female guests. We're bringing them in. Big shout out last week to Grace Helbig for coming in. She was phenomenal. Everyone loved that. And then a lot of wrestling talk for my taste. I love talking wrestling, but I didn't think Grace would want to talk about wrestling the entire time. And she's like, enough of this bio stuff. Here's what I want to talk about, pro wrestling. I was like, that's very strange. So if that was a lot of wrestling, don't worry. This week, we don't talk about wrestling at all. We love you guys. If you want to be a Patreon subscriber, go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye and subscribe. You get free comedy club tickets. You get to live stream. You get some gifts. You get some attention from me personally because you're earning it and paying for it. And I'm happy to give you the attention. You're not just a subscriber. You're our friends. What else? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Let's launch in. And we're in. Just like that. Welcome back to episode 40. Big shout out to Sean Kemp. I already did that in the intro, but I just want to say we always pick an athlete who wore the number of the episode's week, and 30s were really hard.
Clever.
We're happy to be out of the woods because 40 was like a no-brainer. You didn't even have to worry about it.
It's right down the wall.
Yeah, Sean Kemp, one of the greatest of all time. Tony, how was your week, bud?
It was okay. I saw something that really frustrated me on the internet.
Okay, let's talk about it.
You know, everyone's so quick to be offended these days that now the children.
Oh, that's a broad generalization that everyone is offended. I'm offended that you would say that.
Yeah. Now the children are learning it. So It was a React video. They're showing these kids like clips of Seinfeld episodes.
Okay, love that show.
And they're getting so offended by things. I'm like, that's the joke.
Wait, which clip are they showing? Are they showing the Puerto Rican flag episode?
No, like they're like, oh, the soup Nazi. They say Nazi? Give me a break, you know? And then
that soup killed the Jews.
Jesus.
Well, that you could be offended.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And then the episode that someone thinks Jerry's trying to hit on a lady or whatever, and then
Did you bring a rotary phone?
No, she brought one of those payphones you actually walk into and close the door.
Yeah.
Our guest is 75 years old. She brought a phone that still has a ringer.
I thought someone said the secret word of the day or something, and that's what.
So go ahead. So the kids were offended.
Can I borrow a piece of paper?
Yeah.
The kids were offended that one episode, Jerry's attracted to a lady,
That's all for you.
and she mistakenly thinks that Jerry and what's the other guy? Not Kramer, but the other guy.
George.
He thinks
I'm offended.
She thinks that they're gay.
Okay.
And then it's that whole episode.
Oh, yeah, it's a great episode.
Yeah, and then he's like, not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, it's that whole thing. Like, but that's the joke. And then they're like, oh, I can't. This would never fly today. I'm
really?
Like,
you know what's funny? So I posted this week on social media, on Twitter, and I put it on Instagram, and I put it on Facebook, like I do all my jokes. I put. I always make all of my passwords September 11th, so I'll never forget. Like that was the joke. It's a memory joke. It's a play on never forget. It's pretty corny, to be fair. And everybody was fine with it. In fact, I got text from like Josh Nelson's like, oh, I wish I'd have thought of that joke. That's really funny. And then, but on Facebook, all negative.
Yeah,
all like, you can't do that. How
Yeah, it
could
makes the
you?
computers
I
crash.
lost someone in 9/11. It's like, I'm not mocking the people dying but it's like, it's such a weird
And that's
thing.
the Chris Rock bit
What?
where he's like, oh, you know that there's that app that lets you know that your friends and family are racist. It's called Facebook.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, the thing that's weird about it is that I even commented to the people that were mad at me that it's a trigger word.
Yeah.
You heard September 11th and you go, that you can't talk about that. You can't joke. No, you definitely can.
Yeah.
There are good rape jokes. It's a very sensitive subject. You shouldn't make light of rape, but that doesn't mean there's nothing funny about the subject or anything for that matter. Whatever the thing is, there can be a joke about it, but it better be a good joke.
Yeah.
And that's
you're
your
taking
job.
a chance.
It's different if It's different if a congressman makes that joke on Twitter.
Do you
then we're
disagree?
Like,
Do you think that there's nothing funny
allowed to
about
talk
rape?
right now? Am I talking?
absolutely.
Yeah,
We're in
know.
guest. You talk any time you want.
I know that some
very
podcasts do.
polite.
I've got so much to say.
Oh my God.
Normally the
you know
intros
what?
don't
Let's
go
just-
this
let's
long.
just-
I'm not
let's just-
quiet.
I know. I love it. I've already done all my homework on you. I know everything about
What do
you.
you
I feel
know?
like. Let's.
I've done zero homework. My
Give
whole
you the
life,
introduction
actually.
so you feel like you.
Oh no, I just thought
Can
I
you
was like
speak?
I've done podcasts. Like you guys are doing your intro.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's our guest. She's a delight and she's a pleasure. If you're not watching on Patreon, you can hear her voice, but she has a podcast called Sex with Emily. You're a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
You're definitely
I'm a sex
the
doctor.
most educated in this room, and
Perfect.
and a sex doctor. But that's a special sect of doctor, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
very
And that's
special.
literally
The
sex
most
ed.
special.
Is there a fancy term for it?
Doctor of human sexuality.
Okay, yeah, that's way more fancy.
Yeah.
Can I just call you Dr. Bones?
You can't.
Yeah,
Thanks for asking.
Doctor
Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah.
Can you should make it a little more hip for the children. I think these kids need to learn about sex.
I think having sex in the title is enough for the
That is
children.
true. Yeah, they
Yeah.
like it.
You
It
just say
sells.
sex.
It
You're like,
sells.
I'm in.
That's it.
In the Fortress of Solid Dudes, our guest, Emily Morse. Give it up for her. Yes!
Welcome.
And you brought a friend, or
I did. My
an
producer,
assistant, your
friend,
sister. Who
my
is
producer, Jamie Pittenger.
this? Jamie.
She's worked with me for 3 years, and she's produced my show. And now I have a show 5 days a week on Sirius XM, a call show, LA Drive Time. Jamie's producing that as well.
Are you like a hot Dr. Drew, or are you like what is the what do you do? Explain to our guests or
I do?
our listeners what you do. What is the show about? Pitch us on that.
I'm going to pitch you on my show. I hope you guys like it. Oh my God. No, okay.
We
I'll
will.
pitch.
We're
No,
already in.
I'm joking,
Yeah.
of course. I'm not like pitching. No, I've been doing a podcast. I started a podcast 14 years ago in my living room in San Francisco. I know.
Early adopter.
Before podcasts
Yeah.
started. And I started because I was having a lot of disappointing sex.
Oh,
I
no.
thought that sex was not
How's
that
that
great
possible?
and sex should be a lot better
Wait, I
than
can
it
start a
was.
show about that?
What? No. And
You
then I was
could
like,
throw
I
a
want to
brick at
friggin'
my
figure
face
out.
during sex, and I'm happy.
Right. Well, because you're a dude. That's why
Okay.
the women were like, eh. But you know, here's the thing. I'm also an overachiever. I thought sex could be a lot better than it is. And then I decided that I was going to invite everyone I knew over and start interviewing them about their sex lives and their relationships. And so really, and then I got a doctorate in human sexuality. But my show essentially makes sex easier to talk about. I want everybody to be comfortable talking about sex so we can have better sex because life is too short for bad sex. So by right now, people call into the show. I get emails from listeners every day, questions, how do I have an orgasm? Why aren't I having pleasure? Why does my partner want sex and I don't want to? Is it okay
How
to
does
fantasize?
sex work?
How
Where
does
do
sex
I
work?
put it?
Literally that. And
Why
relationships
is
and
it
dating
bleeding?
and love. And
Things
it's
like
very
that.
sex positive.
Okay.
And it's entertaining because I think if a very formal sex show, people would kind of fall asleep. So,
Right,
but I
yeah.
happen to just talk about it in a way like I'm just talking about anything. We do not talk about sex enough. That's what it's about. I help people. I change lives.
I like that. Have you had any pushback from like your family or like men that you've dated or boyfriend, current boyfriend? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they ever go, "Hey, I wish you wouldn't talk about how
No.
we have sex"? Really?
Oh, no, I mean, that wouldn't work because I actually don't think, okay, here's the thing about the show. It's not so much about me, although I definitely talk about my own life if it's, happening, but more it's about like I have guests and I interview people. But yeah, my family was cool. My mom was more concerned about like, am I going to make a living? Because it was tough. I was struggling. I was like podcasting. Like I love
But
it.
she talks about sex and stuff. It wasn't weird
The
for her.
sex thing was she tells all her friends I have a show about relationships. She did for a long time.
She churched
But
it up
now
for
she's
you.
like, yeah, of course. But now she's cool. My family's cool. Guys I date, I mean, that's been interesting. People was like, that's the first question I get asked. Like, how do your parents feel? You asked them both already.
Yeah, because
But
I know my family. See, here's the thing. I'm comfortable with all subjects. I'm a stand-up comedian. Like we just talked about earlier. I'm fine joking and talking about anything. And I think that because you know my intent is everything. I'm never going to intentionally try to hurt someone's feelings or make light of something aggressively. But my parents would be mortified.
Right.
Like, my mom's never said the word sex.
Right.
I believe she
That
maybe
makes
not
a
even
lot of
had
sense.
sex.
Yeah.
That explains a lot about you.
Yeah.
Jeff,
We're
I got
Mormon.
bad news.
We call it button smashing.
Wait, don't you say my mom had sex.
I got bad news, Jeff.
No, and also, just give you some context on us, I never talk about sex in my act. I am pretty shy about the subject. I was nervous all day about this. Tony never talks about sex on here. His mom listens to this podcast.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
And Aaron is very comfortable talking about sex, but he does it in such a joking fashion that he's definitely deflecting. I've never heard you really
100%.
talk
No,
about
you
sex.
said
See,
it like-
okay, this is exactly it. This is like most people on the planet. So
Right.
like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the
Right.
problem, is
So,
what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how exactly you are
We're the
literally.
problem.
Yeah.
We're all problem. No one. That's all I want to do is people talk. Okay, so I'm sure. How's that going for you? Not talking about sex. How's your sex life?
Great, fantastic.
Says you.
Okay. yeah. I mean, it's my reality, and it's great.
Pretty much non-existent at this point.
You don't ever have sex?
I'm not. I'm a relationship guy,
Okay.
and I haven't been in one in a while. So
Okay.
Okay.
But what if a
You've
girl
had
was just
sex.
like came up to you at a place, was like, "Hey, I'd really like to have sex with you right now." Would you be open to that? Would you be like,
well, yeah, I'm human, but it's not.
that
if it was
doesn't
a
happen a lot?
I don't go out and like
In that
and
strange,
seek it.
hypothetical,
Yeah.
weird world that I put
Yeah,
you
that
in?
perfect fantasy scenario doesn't come
Okay.
across. Doesn't happen.
Go ahead. We're all coming clean on our sex lives.
I don't. It's such a complicated thing because I would say I'm afraid of sex.
What?
You are or you're not.
I am. Yeah.
Okay, tell me. That is so honest and true. Who
I was
would be
being honest
afraid
and
of
true.
it?
It's just a different answer.
Don't be jealous because she complimented my answer.
Well, she was
Listen.
like, "Says you."
Well, because you're like, it's great. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
you
very
never talked
happy.
about it. You don't even think about it, and
I
then you're
think
banging. I would like
women
to talk to the women. And
Women
see what they
like
think.
having sex with me because I don't go and talk about it. I don't go share it's between me and them. And
Do you talk about it with them?
Yeah.
Like besides dirty talk?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I
As
think you
someone
should
who's been a
ask them
close
what they
friend of
like.
Jeff for
and,
many years, we've never really gotten raunchy about sex. In fact, we barely talk about it, and if we do, it's just kind of like yeah, but that happened.
Well, because it's none of his
Or
business.
it's a
The women that I
full-time-
spend
Here's the
those
thing.
time with.
No, it's not about gossiping. I'm just saying, in general, what I mean by not talking about it is, I mean that like from the time we're kids, right? We're growing up, and nobody ever talks to us about like pleasure, if we have sex education at all. Like 23 states have sex ed, 13 require it to be medically accurate. It's all bullshit. And we're told fear-based, like we're going to get an STD, you're going to get someone pregnant. But no one tells you, oh, hey, you might get a little boner in the middle of the night and then you're going to masturbate and then have this wet dream and then you're going to feel, like this is what it means and it's okay.
I wasn't
Just do it in
told
your
it was gonna be
bedroom.
like this.
What's this
Do it in your
little
bedroom.
boner, Todd?
What, big boner.
Thank you.
You're going to have this thing's going to happen to your body. It's going to change. So then kids are left with like shame and guilt or religion and their parents. And then they grow up into men. And then they still don't talk about sex.
Right.
And then
That's true.
and then women put a lot of pressure. I'm talking about like heterosexual relationships on men. Like you guys should know all the answers because women don't talk about it either. We don't know our bodies. What make us feel good. We fake orgasms. We sometimes we talk
So
to our friends
dishonest,
about it.
women.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what
I've
I'm
never
saying.
faked an orgasm, and I'll go on record.
Some guys do.
It was always real.
I know. I'll bet, baby. Real for you.
Yeah, well, I drink a lot
It's
of
all that
whiskey.
matters.
I've faked some things. I
have
drink
to
a lot
with
of whiskey.
whiskey.
You know the old saying,
Whiskey
whiskey
dick.
makes me
Whiskey dick is
not
a real
work.
thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
learned
all
that in
good.
sex school.
Yeah, it's very
Just
real.
kidding. It wasn't. Yes, it wasn't called whiskey dick though. It had a more formal.
Was it
name.
actually called sex school, or was that also a lie?
I call it sex school, but it was sexual grad. It was
There
grad
we
school.
go.
So when I was a young man, to kind of piggyback on what you said about how people just don't talk about it, especially when you're young, especially when you come from like
We talk
a
about in a healthy way.
conservative
We talk
area.
about like I banged her, or I didn't bang her. But go ahead.
We didn't
Yeah.
even talk about that, to be
Right.
fair. I remember in 9th grade, I had never masturbated. And I made it to 9th grade.
Wow.
Right? Then, it was 10th grade. 10th grade because it was high school. So I'm at 10th grade. We're at the lunch table, and there's this girl that I really like. Everyone liked her. It wasn't special. She was hot. She was cool. She was fun. Her name was Amber Shoemaker. Shout out, respect.
Follow me on Instagram.
Someone threw like a sandwich at our table or something, and then I threw a food, and then someone threw another thing. And when one of the things came, maybe it was yogurt, maybe it was pudding, maybe it was mayonnaise from the sandwich. I don't know, but it slapped on the table in front of us, and mayonnaise went all over. White pudding, something went all over the table, and And, I was hilarious back then. So I said something real witty like, it looks like jizz, because I was hilarious. That's a very funny thing. And wink, I'm being facetious if you're not watching.
That was when you peaked.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I said, no, I didn't say that. Someone else goes, it looks like jizz.
now it wasn't
and then
you.
I go, you'd know what jizz looks like. And then the girl that I liked, that everyone else liked, Amber Shoemaker, goes, if you don't know what jizz looks like at this age, you're a fucking fag. That's what she said. That's a quote. Don't get offended. That's what she said to me. And then I remember going home.
What? Don't follow me on Instagram.
I remember going home and being like, oh man, like I've never seen jizz. Like I don't know what jizz looks like.
Wow.
And then I basically made myself masturbate. It was the first time I ever masturbated because I was so ashamed.
Wait, I have so many questions for you.
Yeah.
So this whole time up until you were 14, you knew jizz was a possibility to come from your pee. Like you could have masturbated.
Yeah, I knew it was a thing.
But you decided to not.
Yeah.
Why?
He was a church guy.
Didn't know nothing about it.
Church, it's religion. Your mom,
Yeah,
that's
I
why
didn't
she
know
can't
nothing
handle
about
it.
it. Nobody talked to me about it.
Well, they
And
talked
also,
to you about it.
if
They
the-
said you would go blind or something.
No, they didn't. My dad didn't give me the sex talk till I was like 17. And I was like, now, Dad, you give me the sex talk now. And it was like, they taught us all this like in
So
fifth
were you
grade.
afraid to Were you afraid to touch it?
We thought, here's the thing. If all the other guys made fun of it, they're like, oh, this guy probably jerked off. Or like we would
Yeah,
make,
see, this
it
is
seemed like an
the
insult.
problem. What if we normalized it? Of course we jerked off.
Right, that's what it should be.
That's all the
But we
people
were
I'm talking
immature
with
and
on my show.
stupid, and we also
Yeah.
didn't know anything. So instead of them being like, oh yeah, 100% of the guys at this school are masturbating.
Yeah.
They were all like, what? You masturbate? Oh. And so I was like, oh, I'm not masturbating.
So that's what's wrong.
I
Were
also
you at a
didn't know
Catholic-
it would
Catholic
be
boys'
so
school?
cool.
No, definitely not.
Didn't know I'd like it that much. No, I went to just some school.
Oh, okay,
in
because you
public
said
school.
religious, someone.
Yeah.
But okay, got it. So then you did, and then you're like, oh, jizz, I
I was
know,
like, yeah,
I
I'm
get
gonna do
it.
this as often as possible. Is what I thought.
Right, exactly. Cool. So
Yeah.
now you figured it out, jizz. Awesome.
He jizzes on everything now.
Yeah, now
Now
it's
he
like
hasn't
my.
stopped jizzing since.
Now it's my thing.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Every
Amber.
lunch with this
Yeah.
guy.
Thank you, Amber.
People are like, that's the comedian, right? I was like, well, he jizzes more than he does comedy, to be fair. It's kind of his profession.
He's like the comedian.
But wait, so Aaron, you said you're afraid of sex and you never explained.
Yeah, well, there wasn't any follow-up questions. I
Yeah,
was like,
she
good.
was very
deflected.
interested.
So, Aaron, tell me when you say
Deflected.
afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that.
Oh no. No, I'm afraid. I feel like with this is gonna sound like Spider-Man. I feel like with like sex comes a lot of responsibility
Great
to
power
the other
comes great
person,
responsibility.
and I don't want to put I don't want to put my emotional responsibility onto another person or vice versa.
I thought
does
you
that
meant like
mean?
your sperm, like responsibility if you got someone pregnant. You mean your emotional responsibility? What do you mean
Yeah,
by
I'm
that?
not afraid of my sperm.
Awesome. But
I'm not
what do
Jeffy.
you mean about emotional responsibility? Like you feel like a woman can't handle your emotional needs?
No,
He feels like now he has to be in a relationship with this person if they're gonna have sex.
or I'm open to the idea of them calling me just angry whenever they want, or like they're like gonna cry for some reason. I feel like if I have sex with a human being, that they're allowed to be emotional back at me, and I need an emotional wall between me and a person, and I don't want to open that door.
Intimacy issues. You don't like letting people in.
You know,
being really
some
close.
people
I get it.
take 40 weeks and thousands of dollars to get to the conclusion you just came to.
You
like,
think I came up with that conclusion today?
Oh man, maybe not. But like a therapist, like that would be like a big breakthrough for like a therapy session. Like, wow, you're willing to admit, yeah, I don't want any emotion from this person.
but you
and
know
so,
it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
but yeah, that's the reason I don't think I have these long-lasting relationships. You know, like
But-
it's
I mean, we could go into the why and how and the fucked up
Sure.
childhood and all
Yeah,
that shit,
no,
but
no,
that's
no.
not important.
it's
The most
kind
important
of.
part is what do you want? Well, okay. So your family, you raised yourself. You didn't have a lot of emotional support or emotional.
didn't
They
even
never
say that,
showed
but it's correct.
emotions.
Yeah, read
they
like a
never
book.
showed emotions.
Mhm.
Probably divorced parents. You had to raise yourself. Maybe some abuse. And you never really knew when you cried once when you were 4, you got yelled at for being a sissy, so you never cried again. Maybe one girl hurt you, and then you were like, "I'm never again." So then you have like the triple thing of like the parents being awful, and then the girl being mean,
and they were Mormon.
and some girl. Oh, really? Are you
Slam.
just throwing that in?
Dunk.
yeah,
No, for
I'm
real.
just giving
Sure.
it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
the-
There was a
Assist.
lot of guesses in there that could be right or wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know the
I
answer.
mean, yeah, but she's running about 90%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Slam
a
dunk.
textbook psychological thing.
Utah?
Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, but no, are you still part of the Mormon church?
No.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, we're here. Tattoos, the whole thing. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay. So, but no longer, are you close with your family or?
Not super.
No, they weren't great. So you moved to LA a while ago. Do you have good friends, good people in your
Yeah.
life? Okay.
I got Jeffy.
Well, dude,
Hello?
the two of you, the blind leading the blind here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
the
that's what we
blind
do.
leading the blind. Well, I told you I'm very happy. You remember we started at how happy I was.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm good.
Because he's having amazing sex.
Yeah, I'm having great
Right.
sex.
Great sex.
Yeah, and also, I don't see as like some weird goal to get to. Some people think, oh, they're not married with kids yet,
No, dude,
so they must be
listen,
still
I'm just
working
teasing.
towards that. No, I'm good. I feel great.
Yeah, I'm only, I'm just saying.
I feel
think we
like in
all
case
need
my
work.
family is listening, the last 2 years have been a lot better, but I'm also almost 37 years old.
Oh, okay,
And so
it's
for the
time.
first 34, 35 years, it was really distant.
So have you had therapy?
Yeah.
Like regular, like not twice. Like
Yeah,
every day for a year, every month for every week for a year?
For a couple of years.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I've worked through a lot of this.
Oh, good. So that's why you knew it. That's why I knew that.
Yeah.
I know you've done work on yourself. So the best thing is just being authentic when you start to meet someone. Do you date? Do you go on apps? Do you?
Yeah, no, I do dating.
Okay.
I do
Just
the
be
apps.
honest. Be like, relationships scare the shit
Yeah,
out of me. How are
let's
you?
be honest.
No, let's be
How
honest.
can we
being honest.
smash more?
Only in
I'll tell you
That's
exactly.
why I brought you here.
No, I will fucking do. I can go any direction.
We're just
No, but
being
only in the last
silly.
couple of years
But
have I
by
been open to
feeling
relationships.
more and being real, you will get smashed more, and that smashing will be the best smashing you've ever done because it's all of you, and not just your dick, but your heart, your soul, your
It's
body.
like a John Legend song.
I hate to take all of the smashing out of this, but I don't think that it's necessarily about the smashing.
No, you want intimacy. You want it. He needs like emotional intimacy with someone, and you're afraid if you show a woman who you truly are that she won't love you and that you're not lovable.
Well, also, I don't want to deal with the rejection if it doesn't work out either.
Yeah,
It's
but then
easier
how's
to
that going
reject
for you?
immediately.
But by
Fucking
resisting
this.
relationships, you're hanging out with your dudes and not getting laid. So what's
Well,
the better option?
I do
been
all
there.
right. No, it's not. It's not that it's like I'm getting zero sex and I'm keeping sex
Right.
away from me on an island.
It's
It's
the
that I
emotional
bring
part.
it in very cautiously.
I think you just got to be honest with these chicks after you bang them if you actually like them and be like, I actually am freaked out about relationships. How do you feel? I'm not quite great at it. I want to, but I think it'd be cool to try. What do you think? What's up with you? Like, and then you're real and she knows, oh yeah, he doesn't totally have the emotional capacity for it. But, and then you're just, that's what I want. I don't just talk about like blowjobs all day and how to do that, although I do sometimes, but how do we talk about our emotions and our sex life and what we want and who we are? Because at the end of the day, we all want to be loved, but we're all afraid of not being lovable if we show who we really are.
Yeah.
So then we hold everyone at arm's length, including myself. I've done that my entire life
Yeah.
too. I get it. I'm not perfect. I'm still learning stuff, but it's not easy
Well, I
to
didn't say I
Here
wasn't
first.
perfect.
She
But-
ain't perfect. Hot take.
dude, so far from perfect. But I know about that the more you reveal the things, you have to say the things you think you cannot say to people that you care about and love, that you trust.
Yeah.
And the things that we're afraid that don't make us lovable keep people away from us. But once you reveal it, like we're as sick as your secrets, as they say in AA, which I'm not in AA. It's tequila. But I
Wait a
love
second.
AA.
Talk
I
about that
love the
real fast.
cheers for not being
So
there.
how about this?
But what I'm saying is it's true. And that the things that we keep inside of us weaken us. And the more you're honest about whatever the fuck it is, the more you're going to draw people to it. You're like, you know what, dude? I grew up Mormon too. You're right. I felt that same way.
You grew up
My-
Mormon?
No, but
Just
they
give me an
will.
example.
Or my life sucked too. Yeah, my mom was a bitch. Your dad sucked. And it's a unifying factor because we all suffer. So why not talk about it?
Of course. But are you a relationship doctor or a sex doctor?
Everything. I'm every kind of doctor. How can I
Those
help
things
you?
are connected.
Yeah.
It is connected. If I just talked about sex all day long, it would be not
Right.
efficient.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like the 360. I can
Well,
just
you
talk
could
about
argue
anything.
that
It'd be the 369.
90% of the world is very interested in relationships, and 100% of the world is interested in sex.
It's a good
So
overlap.
that's why it's very tricky.
Yeah, and one
Someone's
leads
like, I
to the
came here for
next.
sex help. And you're like, yeah, but don't you want to commit? You're like, what?
No, I'm not even about that. I'm about, even if you have a one night stand, you should make it great sex.
Of course.
Why not? Like, why not have great sex? Every time you have sex, why not try to make it pleasurable for both of you?
Yeah, you
That's a
hear her
win-win.
whiskey? You hear she's talking to you.
You seem to treat that whiskey well, I'm sure.
That's true. What an interesting thing. I do want to point that out real quick since we're talking about alcohol. This is totally off subject, but we've had 40 guests at this point, almost. And all the guests, a lot of tough guys. You know, we got Chris Porters, we got the Jeremy Pivens, we got the whatever. And none of them wanted a drink. I say, you want a drink? And they said, I have a drink and whatever. The only two guests we've had that drank was Grace Hilbig, who drank moonshine with me, and now you, who's drinking tequila.
I thought Jeremy did.
Jeremy had a cigar.
So I thought you guys had a little thing
That's
too.
interesting.
But
No one drink.
anyways.
None of the guests drink.
There was somebody
Maybe
had
they're
a
nervous.
beer, but it was nothing like this.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
weird.
Huh.
So good on the women.
Yeah.
Yeah, manning up.
Are we the only two women you've had on the show?
No, we've had Marilyn Reiskub, Tanalee. I'm surprised she didn't do meth while she was here, for God's sakes.
Well, if we offered it. But at the same time, these are also, you're comparing day interviews to night interviews.
Oh.
No, those were just in the sunshine
Like,
because it was like
daylight
summertime. It was like
savings
this
time.
time.
Yeah,
we
no,
always-
but I think since the switchover has happened, it's been darker longer. That's helped with
these
some of the
people.
loosening up of it.
These
It's
people
like
want
Pitt
to
was like
drink.
drinking
3 in the
season.
afternoon.
That's true.
Well, do you ever get tired of talking about this stuff?
Really?
Do you get a second wind?
I do. I've done 6 hours of shows today, and I'm like totally fine. I love it. I love what I do.
What else do you like?
I just did a
Forget
2-hour
all
live
the
show.
sex
I was
stuff.
on
What do
another
you like?
podcast. What? What do I like?
Usually with girls, they're talking about all the stuff they like, and I'm like, let's talk about sex for a bit, you know? But you talk about sex all the time.
We haven't even
What
talked about
else do you
Tony's
like?
dry.
What else do I like?
Tell us about your life. What are you into? You look healthy. You look like you
I work
exercise.
out. I do Pilates.
Do Pilates.
Yoga.
What is Pilates?
Exactly. I didn't like it. I was always like an athlete, and then I hurt my back, so I had to like slow down and like do. It's like it was created by like a dancer, actually a man, Joseph Pilates, because he was injured or
Another
something
thing
like
named
that.
after a man.
Yeah, just like the fucking G
She
spot.
has a big problem with that, yeah.
No,
the
I
G-spot's
don't. I
named
love
after
men.
a guy.
I love men. No, I've never bashed men on my show.
You want
ever,
your lady
ever.
parts to be
I was
named by
bashing you, but I
ladies.
was kidding. Yeah, well, that makes sense,
You want
doesn't
men's
it?
parts to be named by men.
I don't know. At this point, can we have anything the women like name my spot after like a woman? Like, I don't know. I'd like to rename the G spot anyway because it's not really
What would
a
you like to
spot.
name
It's
it?
an-
X
well,
marks
it's
the
not
spot?
really a spot. It's an area. And I think it's confusing for
Right.
many people.
Kind of
It's
like
not
Pilates is an area.
yeah, it's an
not a
area of
spot.
exercise.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
danger zone? Can we call it
Pilates
that?
is like stretching and shit. What?
What?
I mean, it's muscles. The danger zone. No, no. See, this is your problem too, honey.
That's
Sex
the
is good. It
opposite.
will help you. It will release a lot of stuff going on.
I think I can
Listen
teach you a
to her,
couple
Aaron.
things. I know, no, she's
I would
right.
love you to teach me things. I'm always open to learn.
Hell yeah.
Teach me something.
I'm going to teach you how to deflect the shit out of stuff.
I just did. He asked me on Pilates. I'm bored. What?
Yeah, and
I'm
then she
like,
went
I
right
don't
back
care.
to
Do you
the
really care?
G-spot. Yeah, so what, you do Pilates?
I do. I hang out with friends.
How'd you hurt your back?
Soul Cycle, run, exercising, running, and shit like that. But
Or do you want to sue Soul Cycle?
no, I love Soul Cycle.
I know, but they hurt your back.
no, but it
didn't
was my fault because my core probably wasn't like strong enough.
Right.
And so I
Wait, I
had
have
to
a weird
slow
question
down.
about that.
Go.
So when you hurt your back, how did you get back into working out when your back hurts? Because that's like connected to your whole fucking body.
Exactly. I had to wait a
Oh.
little bit, and then I had to go to Pilates and yoga, and now it's a little bit better.
I do yoga every day I'm home or Barry's boot camp.
Yeah.
And I tweaked my neck last week and I was shocked at how disabling it was for me
Yeah.
having a tweaked neck. Like, cause I didn't do work
It's
out
the
or anything.
worst.
I slept like 3 hours longer than I normally would. And I was like, oh, this is probably like what older people feel
Yeah.
when their back
Pains.
hurts or something. And you're like, just go run or something.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like
you
that.
can't
It's,
when
it's
it
a
hurts.
big deal.
Yeah, like I like through. Yeah, so but now it's back and I can do stuff. So I work out, I
back's
hang out
back.
with friends.
What are your friends into? Do they like talking about all this sex stuff with you or no?
Well, that's the thing.
Everybody
Sometimes
likes
too much.
talking sex
Everyone
stuff.
does.
Huh?
Everyone likes talking about it. Yeah, we talk about
Yeah, but it kind of would
Go to
take over your
dinners.
life, wouldn't it?
what? Yeah,
Just-
sometimes I'm like,
yeah,
no,
you're not always the sex lady, right?
No, I'm so many more. I'm so
Right.
much more
You
than
could be
that.
the Pilates gal.
I could be that.
You could be the friend that drinks wine and shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have good friends. I hang
Do you like
out.
animals?
I love animals.
What's your favorite animal?
I'm so ready
Oh, I
for
like
a
this.
dog right now.
Me too,
I
but
have
I
commitment
travel too
issues though
much.
too. Same. No, but
I
now
don't
I'm
let
not
him get a
traveling.
dog.
Hmm?
I don't let him get a dog.
Yeah, I
I'm
had
gonna
a
get
dog
a
for a
little
little while, but
dog.
I'm on tour every weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Can't do that.
I just put my dog down. I was like, this is selfish to have a dog. If
You should just I put your dog down.
I did, yeah, he's gone now.
Yeah, he couldn't. Right,
Just
right.
kidding.
You're leaving.
No, that's
I get
not
it. I know you wouldn't really do that.
Would never do that. But I do every day. I fight the battle of adopting a dog or buying a dog. And Aaron is really afraid of it because he's the one who he lives close. He knows the codes to all my doors. I trust him the most out of most people I know in the world.
Yeah, he
so
gets a
I
dog.
often put the friend
I get a dog.
responsibility on him. Like, hey, can you bring some packages in my house? Or,
Right.
hey, someone's coming to pick up something. Can you wait there? And so he would be walking the dog. And
I'd have a dog.
Right, you would.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Aaron says no.
I'd have the dog 4 days a week.
Yeah, but see, I would like to share a dog.
Oh,
with
you want to
someone.
share a dog with us?
Yeah, I want a dog to
See,
share.
that
Now
was-
with
oh,
you,
wait a
we don't-
second. That was the
we don't
situation
live-
I was in.
I want to share a dog.
A timeshare
Like with
dog?
my ex, I was like, "Can we just share a dog?" Like
It's the
even that.
best. 'Cause my former I just moved, but my roommate had a dog, so it wasn't my responsibility. But
Yeah.
I got all the
But you-
loving and
that's
cuddles, and
perfect.
didn't
Oh,
have
the
to
best.
didn't have to
Breed.
worry about feeding her or taking her
I
out. It
have
was
two
perfect.
god dogs. Yeah, it's same thing.
Yeah, it
You're
was
not
great.
like totally responsible, but you
Right.
get just the good parts.
Yeah,
Here's the
exactly.
thing with owning a
You have
dog
your
for
cake and
me.
eat it too with that dog.
That's right.
you not owning a dog has been a great weight off my chest as far as like the guilt of being like, I should, because I'll stay out late at comedy clubs and drink. And the whole time I'm out, I'm going, I should probably get home. The dog is probably losing his mind. And I feel bad because I was on the road all weekend and I wasn't hanging out with him. And he deserves my time.
Yeah.
And so there was always this guilt. So by not having a dog, as sad as that is, I feel less guilty all the time.
Right.
But then the other thing is you spend so much time thinking about poop when you have a dog. Like, do I have poop bags? And did I bring poop bags? And did you pick up the poop? When's the last time he pooped? Oh, you got to get up, take him out to go poop. Did he poop in the house? Like, it's so much poop thinking.
It's like a poop anchor. You're like, I got to go home, let him poop, and then I got to go back out.
Well, if you want kids, I guess it's good preparation.
But I don't.
Oh, okay, good. Well, then don't get a dog.
What, are they going to poop a lot, kids?
Yes, people are like obsessed with kids' poop.
What do you mean?
They're kids, I don't know, kids who people have babies.
Is that a sex thing? What are you talking about?
No, well, yes.
I mean, babies are.
Oh my gosh, can we talk about that?
No,
so
I don't
some
like
people
poop.
are
Can I
into
just
that?
tell you guys something as men?
Yeah.
Women don't find poop jokes and poop things as funny.
Nor do I. But I think it's...
Guys love poop, talking about farting and
This is the
pooping.
most we talk about poop our whole life.
I've never talked about poop.
I can't
Okay,
stand
but I
it.
don't want to talk about it then.
But there's people that are sexually into that?
Sure.
What percentage? One?
Not many, but
0,
there are
0, 0,
fetishes
1?
around. It's like fecophobia.
Put it this way: if you
Jeff,
find
there's
another
people in
person
this-
that's
there's people
into
in
it, you guys
anything.
are together.
Literally everything. People are into everything.
Didn't
What?
know that.
So if you find another person who's into it, you guys are together. That's how
Yeah.
rare it is.
Well, the only reason I popped when you said that subject and I was like, oh, can we talk about that? Is because I'm working on a bit right now where I'm like, we're the only species that seems to not be into poop. I have a dog. He's always licking poop and eating poop, smelling other dogs' butts. Like monkeys, we look at monkey videos all day, and they're always like in each other's butts and stuff. Like every species seems to
rappers
be
these
very
days.
into poop, except humans, which shows how great we are.
Right. I think we're more into, I think they're into asses than the poop, like anal.
You mean humans or
Like my uncles.
Everyone.
I'm not.
Like
I
your
have no
uncle.
interest.
That explains it. Just kidding.
I'm pretty conservative in the bedroom when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm like the John McCain of
That's
sex.
right. I've watched. He doesn't touch nothing in the.
I just want a beautiful woman
You
in
should
me.
put that on your Bumble profile.
Where's the thing? I don't need two hot chicks. I don't want butt stuff. I'm not into like robot wieners and condoms. I don't mess with any of this stuff, okay? I like me and a beautiful lady. That's what I'm into, Emily. That's what
By
I'm
robot
into.
Soaking.
wieners.
You know, where she just busts out something. You're like, what did this come from? She's like, it's got like a little toenail on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course, sex toys are the.
I was told
Yeah.
premature
Amazing.
during
Sex
this
toys
whole
are
thing.
Toenail.
great when I'm not around. You should use those. But when I'm here, I have a real human wiener.
Yeah, but a lot of times it feels amazing to use a sex toy along with the wiener.
Right. But not the big, giant, crazy thing.
I guess
If
you
it
can decide
vibrates.
with your partner what's
Right.
cool.
I think,
what
you know,
works
like
for
maybe
you.
a vibrator or maybe
those are
like
dope.
They're all the
a
same.
ring or some sort of like a loop. I get all that. But you're going to pull that thing. It's like,
I'm
what are
taking
you?
back the gifts I bought you, by the way.
You're taking them
You
back?
got gifts?
I brought gifts. I wish I knew you were all going to be here because I would. Well, I don't know. We packed it, but we got you condoms and lube.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think-
Yeah, half of those will be great.
But use condoms, you guys. Chlamydia is on the rise. You guys can share
That's
all this
what
stuff.
you think.
Anyway, you can look at it later.
I have sex with real women, not homeless ladies who don't get their
I use
privates
condoms
checked.
because I'm afraid of responsibility.
Is that
That
well? That's
too.
what I thought you meant when you first said you were afraid of responsibility. I thought you meant you don't want to get someone pregnant.
Was that? I was doing
Excited?
a little thing, first person camera.
Yeah, I got it.
it
No,
do
it
a
wasn't necessarily
scarf
about that.
dance?
Where's my camera? I don't want a camera.
It's a wide shot.
Those
It's
are
up
the
there in
best
corner.
condoms ever.
Okay.
What is it?
Because they're skin condoms. They're
That's my
They're
brand.
non-latex. Do you use them already?
Yeah.
Polyisoprene. That's a masturbation sleeve that you can help
Can you
in your
That's
head.
explain
Tony's
to me
brand.
how it works?
You just put it on your penis with a lot of lube.
Is that
and
what you
it's
found in the
stiffer than your
hotel
hand.
room?
Not gonna fit.
One
That
size
thing
fits
stretches
all.
like huge.
Dude, I wasn't gonna
That's
give that to you that
inappropriate.
Dude,
size and be
it's
like,
Such a frat
can
guy.
wear it like
Now
He-Man.
I
I'm sorry. Well, I don't know who you talk to. What is this? Same thing?
Same
as
thing,
that?
condoms.
Okay. Gosh. So
Dude, for reals, if you're not
we-
going to use those, I will use those.
share.
can we?
No,
Aaron,
only me.
wait, here's the thing. What is your diagnosis? But what do you think about like porn stars? What like people that have sex for work? What is your thoughts on that?
I just give my thoughts on porn stars.
Yeah, that's a pretty vague question. You can answer however you'd like.
I think that I have a lot of friends who are porn stars.
You
They're
do?
awesome.
And they're great.
Yeah.
It's not like a psychological
I
devastation.
mean, their
No.
communication sexually has got to be way higher than everyone else.
Not necessarily, you guys. We're all
Really?
human, but I think porn stars are. There's no judgment to make about anyone who's a sex worker.
right.
Oh, I wasn't
Well,
saying
that's
that.
what
I
I was
just meant
asking
like,
you. I was asking you if maybe
no,
you're
I
like,
don't think they're all fucked up, crazy. No.
Right.
I think that there's we all have issues. You know, I don't think that
Are any of them afraid of
You have a
responsibilities?
specific question you can answer me, but I don't. Porn stars are awesome. You guys like porn stars?
Yes.
How do you feel? What's your
I think
thoughts
they're
on porn
fantastic.
stars? You spend a lot of time with them on the
I've
screen.
met probably 10, I'll say. I think
Have you had
that's a
sex
good
with a
number.
porn star?
I have had sex with porn stars.
How was it for you?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're professionals. They know exactly. And I think a lot of women that aren't as open as you or as honest or open-minded to those sort of things, they want me to typically go, it wasn't that great. They want me to be like, they want me to downplay the porn stars.
But how was it? Was it that great? What made it great?
They're pros. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Okay, can you please explain to me? What made it professional?
Okay.
Like the blowjob, the way she what?
All of it.
Like, tell me. I need to
starting
know.
with foreplay into actual
Was it like
sex.
you're having sex with a porn star?
No. Well, yeah, I guess it was kind of an actor, theatrical show, if you will. But also, and this is my own, I don't know if this is a fact, but I would just say anyone who is good at anything has just done it a lot. And so since they're having sex so often, they've naturally figured out what to do and how to make another person feel good and what makes them feel good, which is a big part of it. Obviously, we're two people. So I think that's the only reason that it's better is because they have sex more than regular people.
Huh.
I don't know if they do have sex more than regular people. It's documented more than
they're not
regular
having
people.
those like I don't want to upset anybody here. It's like saying Santa Claus isn't real. But a lot of what the orgasms you see on screen, they're acting. They're not actually having orgasms.
Okay.
They're not actually enjoying the sex they're having.
Wait, but
I'm
is
not
Santa
saying
Claus
it's with a
having real
gun.
orgasms?
I hope so.
Wait, what was your question?
I'm telling you that just because they're like professional, they're really great actors, doesn't necessarily mean that they are like great
Well,
in bed.
yeah, maybe it was a placebo effect that I was like, yeah, they know
But
exactly
she
what
seemed
they're
that
doing.
she knew what she was doing. But what is that? So what you're saying that means is that she knew how to get herself off, and then she knew how to get you off in a way that was different than other women.
No, just in a way that
Confident? You think it was
yeah,
more
maybe
confidence?
it was more confident. I think a lot of women maybe get it used to like what one partner would like because they were with the same person for so long that they've just kind of learned what that man liked. But that doesn't help when you're with a new man, whereas porn stars have been probably, stereotypically, a broad stroke here, have probably been with a lot of different dudes and they've learned things that the gamut likes. They have a bigger sample size. So naturally, they've practiced and they know what they're doing and they know what looks good, which is a big part of sex for me, is the visual stimulation. And so not only does it look great, but it's also feels pretty fantastic too. As opposed to just one gal who's like, I was married for 10 years and now I'm going through a divorce and he liked this. And
That's
like,
my target
He
demographic.
liked teeth.
Well, here's the thing about sex. He liked teeth. Sound like an inside joke.
No, a lot of women that aren't good at blowjobs use their teeth.
Oh, the teeth blowjob joke. How did I miss that? No, I
draw
think
a
that
picture.
what I think is that sex is it's not about who you slept with. It's like in the moment, every time you're with a new partner is a great opportunity to be present and learn what that person likes because everyone's different. So I'm curious, for guys, every time you're with someone, 'cause I always think that you just got to pay attention to what's happening in the room because every person is different. So when a guy's with a new woman, a lot of men are they assume that she wants what my last partner wanted, so I'm going to go down on her the same way, or I'm just going to do the same things, or I'm going to do what I
Which
saw in
is a Seinfeld
porn.
thing. You got to move. Everyone has a move.
Yeah, the moves, but we can tell the moves. We're like, oh my God, he is with every chick. And guys think that too. But anyway, I just think it's not. I'm glad you had good sex with the porn star.
I was curious though that why did you feel the need to ask me about why did you question that the porn stars wouldn't be very good at sex?
Oh, I wasn't questioning at all. I want to know. No, because I literally started my podcast asking people whenever they told me they had great sex, I would say, this is before the podcast, because that's why I started. I was like, back up. You had great sex last night? What do you mean? I'd be like, did you have 16 orgasms? Were you swinging from the rafters? Was his penis double jointed? Why did you have great sex? So literally, it was only because you said you had great sex with her. I was like, oh my God, what does that mean?
So for me, it's visual stimulation.
Literally, that's it.
I need to be
Not
super
about,
attracted
nothing
to
to
them.
a porn star.
I need visual stimulation. So I need to
Visually,
be
she was
attracted to them. Yeah.
So she was giving you a blowjob, looking at you, and she was hot.
It was awesome.
Her
Yeah, it was
ass
perfect.
was in the air. Okay.
Yeah, she
okay,
knew
got
how
it.
to make, not just porn stars, but this is what I'm into or whatever. And then also it always feels pretty great. That's pretty easy on a guy's terms.
Guys are lucky in that way.
Yeah. And then also the sometimes there's been times in my life where whether either of us knew what we were doing for each other, knew what we were doing for ourselves, the connection was just so powerful.
Chemistry,
and the excitement of being with that person was went a long way. So like I can think of a specific woman in my life that I loved. I loved her very much. So maybe we weren't that great at getting each other off, but it was just weird. It was such a powerful connection that we had, that the energy was nice and you know, it was great.
Can I take 3 guesses at the names?
No. But I mean, you know.
No, I know. Just
but for the podcast's sake, maybe we shouldn't. So yeah, I mean, I think it's not as complex as I don't know.
What isn't sex? No.
Yeah.
Why it's good? Yeah. I think it's complex. I think it's really complex. I mean, I just because it's my. I mean, people. Because sex is always great at the beginning, right? Like the first time you have sex with someone, usually, or it gets better if there's really an attraction. Like the honeymoon phase is like a real thing because it's new and exciting. You know what they're going to do next.
Yeah,
and
sometimes someone's just like, let's have sex
Yeah.
in this store.
Yeah, like
and I'm
now.
like, yeah,
and that's
that
like the
would
best
be
sex ever.
fantastic.
Yeah, people always talk about like their fantasies or their best sex experiences as being unexpected or surprising, or we didn't know, and then like something happened and we were having sex. But that's not long term. That's not realistic to keep. You can't keep recreating the surprise, and we were wasted. At the
so I
same
keep
time.
going on vacation.
Vacation sex is the best. Like completely underrated if you
could
don't
argue
realize.
that's not spontaneous at all. It's expected.
But it's different.
Okay.
But you're like in a new hotel room with a new thing, and every day I've never been to this restaurant.
Okay.
But the thing is, then you're with someone for a while. It could be like a month or 6 months after that initial 6 months. And you're like, now what? Like, now what turns me on? Now what makes me feel good? And then we get into routines and then sex becomes boring.
Right.
And then we'd rather like
Another
watch
great
porn.
commercial for relationships.
Dude, I know. They're not easy. But they take work. It's not easy. Believe me. Sex
What's
is
the
not.
payoff? What's your pitch and what's the payoff on a relationship?
I think the payoff
Monotony?
Jesus.
I mean, what is the payoff? Well, I would love to hear a woman's what?
The
You
payoff
like
on
to
a
feel
relationship,
kept?
it depends.
You like to feel treasured?
Oh, I mean,
What is
maybe
the
some
term?
women. I think the payoff on the relationship is that like this really deep, we're talking about love or sex or everything. I think it's like this
Those are
really
connected.
deep love and connection that you have with someone that you like.
That is only yours. That's what makes it.
Not necessarily. No, that's two
There's a
separate things.
trust that you can
I'm
build,
talking
Jeff.
about trust and love. You can have sex in any way you want. Like you could deeply love someone and say, we are going to open our relationship and fuck a bunch of other people, but we are in love. In this way that you are open about everything.
Why'd you point at me?
Not even like
I'm the
because
opposite.
you need to open
I
up.
know. I'm sorry. Just go for the
You
joke.
literally tell them everything, and by everything I don't mean like they need to know your wounds, like they need to know
Yeah.
the shit that's holding you back in life. They don't have to know that like you stayed out late or whatever the fuck that you guys agreed on. I'm saying like they need to know who you are.
Yeah,
The
for
shit
sure.
that you don't want to tell anyone they know, like about your childhood and all the fucked up shit you did. And then you love them and trust them, and you're like, it's so great. And then it gets deeper and deeper, and you keep revealing shit. But also, then the sex part, I think, which is why sex is complicated, is because I think the relationship part is easier for many people than the sex part, because having all this comfort and commitment and like deep love where they know your soul is not hot.
Right.
So how do you marry trust and commitment in this one part of the rest of your life and fucking hot drunk sex that you have in the crazy backseat of your car when
Right.
you first met? Right. So
That's
you
my
wanna-
argument.
You take up
Zach,
drinking
did you want
after
to
you
know the
get married.
answer?
That's why I'm actually
That's why it's hard,
fascinated
but
with
the
how
answer-
many women in the world can understand everything you just explained and then still be so shocked that a man could have the nerve to go have sex drunkenly with some other hot woman when we have this strong. You're like, it's so.
Well, right, because we don't understand that
You
attraction.
start to miss it and you start to go, wow, this was really. And just the
Right,
same
'cause
way it
you
would
got
be for a
bored.
woman.
But if you're in a healthy relationship, what I'm saying is that sex is hard because most people don't talk about that, and they just
Right.
go off and cheat, or they just like would rather masturbate than talk to their partner, or they just go through the motions of having sex.
Yeah,
and
you know
then
why
it's
they
a
watch
problem.
porn is because
But
it's a
if-
different woman that is this
I
weird,
know,
exciting
but what
thing
if
they
you could
shouldn't
be
do.
with somebody who was just as exciting as someone else, or at least as interesting to you, and you could have that commitment and love and
That's why they have
sex?
surgery, Jeff.
Well, here's a way one. It's a little lighter of a question because I feel like we're delving
Are we
into.
getting too deep?
Not too deep for me. I just
No,
don't want
I'm
you to
fine
be
with
bored
that.
I'm
to
not even
tears.
deep. Dude, I don't even cry.
Okay.
Not much.
Ever?
I'm not
You
a
don't
huge
cry?
crier. No, I cry.
Oh.
What about
But not a
movies?
lot.
Never mind.
Sometimes.
They make you cry?
Sometimes.
I
when
cry
I go
a
to
lot.
movies. Yeah.
What's the movie that made you
I'm
cry?
just saying, I'm not. This does sound serious, but I'm not that serious.
Okay.
This is like the most
I
serious
don't want
I've
you to
been.
be
I've
uncomfortable.
done 6 hours of shows today, and this is the most serious I've been.
Oh, really?
Right, Jamie? She's been with me, my producer. Have I been this serious?
It's because we're good guys. We know how to
I'm
act.
not
We
serious.
like to
Let's laugh. Let's
dig
talk
in. You
about
know,
it.
Jeff Dye is a complex creature. Jeffy is
Well,
complex.
I know. I could just like. I get you all. I just want to. I want to help you.
You help me. What does that
don't know.
mean?
Oh, I have a question about helping Jeff.
Yeah.
What do you see
Is it-
already where you're like, he needs help in this department?
Okay, that's a good. Yeah, let's do this. If you had to profile me, besides the wrestling
Which I
toys and
believe
baseball
she-
cards,
I mean-
what is something I need help with?
You can profile anywhere you want.
I don't know. It's just interesting to your listeners.
To what? Go ahead. This is fun. It won't rattle me.
As I'm staring at all your figurines.
Because I like what I like.
No, I love that you know you like this. Is nothing. Literally, this is what makes you adorable and
Oh, well, thank
attractive.
you.
No, I literally.
Do you mind if
this,
I put this on?
I don't. Yeah. No. I love that you know you are, and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. That's zero to do with anything. I just think. Where do you want me to start? I mean, I don't know what you want. I think you're still figuring out your.
I'm good. No, I'm here. I'm happy.
I want to know what you like. What do you want to be in love? Does that interest you?
So if you like, I don't think my listeners know this much about me, but all my friends do, is I believe love is everywhere. And I think we're all connected as humans. I love Aaron. I tell him every day. I love Tony. I tell him every day. Every person that's in my life,
So you wanna
I
be a
say I
Mormon?
love you
Yeah.
to, because I believe that is life. I believe
Love is
we're all
infinite.
but I think we're all connected. Even people that cut you off in traffic.
So you don't wanna
Donald
commit to
Trump,
one-
I love
you don't-
Donald
you don't
Trump.
think
I
monogamy-
shouldn't. He makes a lot of arguments why I shouldn't. But guess what? He's a human on Earth, and I love him. I love all people, no matter how bad
But do you
they
want
are.
to like live with someone? Do you want to have kids? And
I don't want to
No,
live with
I know.
anyone.
I get it. I feel
and
the
I
same.
love children, and I can be around children every single
but
day
you don't
without
want
having to
kids.
have my own.
You're certain you don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point in my life, that could change into.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you want to play with
I
his
might not
toys.
even be straight 10 years from now.
Right,
I'm open-minded
exactly.
enough to know that I'm always evolving.
Well, that's
what?
good.
Yeah.
So I think being open minded about, like, are you happy?
But the
maybe
idea that I should follow down some path that makes me miserable every day because everyone else is doing it and going,
Yeah.
hey, relationships are hard. Yeah, that's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy. And anything that would change what I'm currently doing is a threat to that happiness.
Yeah, I hear you. So your
continue
independence
that
is
path.
really important to you right now.
What's that?
I get it. Your independence without a person, a woman in your life.
I love my career. I love
Yeah.
my friends and family. I love, I'm super happy.
It's great.
And also I find women who are in this similar position to me who also don't want that in their life right now, at least. And then we have sex with each other because I shouldn't have to be abstinent just because I'm not looking to be
Right.
in a relationship.
And then with those women that you're with, you're like honest that you are not monogamous with people. Yeah, that's cool. So I guess for me, it's more
And
like
have you noticed that more young people aren't getting
Yes.
married? Statistically, like I might be not a pioneer, but I'm on the early, like the way you podcasted before anyone else. I think that there's a pattern happening here, and I was just a little early on.
no, dude, I was the earliest. I've never wanted to get married, have kids, or commit.
Okay.
So I was way before you.
Aaron and these goddamn fist bumps.
I think monogamy. I think monogamy is a challenge.
It's
I don't
an audio
preach.
podcast, and this guy fist bumps all the single time.
There's
Okay,
video.
I know, but nobody watches the videos.
Thank God. No, I agree with you. I think that's great. I just think there's a little more of a. I think that there's like a. I just think that there's some issues around your intimacy and being like really
think
real.
so?
Totally. I mean, but I think that you could even have better sex with 15
But what makes
chicks.
you say that? So
I
like
just
you've
think that
just
maybe
assessed
you're not,
that in the
you're
last
like, every
40 minutes?
sex is great, and I just feel like you could probably have more meaning. Like I don't know. Like, how often do you go down on chicks and they come?
I've never gone down on a chick and made her come. But I'm usually just so turned on that we just start having sex. Same with her going down on me. She doesn't make me come.
Okay.
We just start having sex once she goes down on me.
But most,
So I'm like, why are you doing that so long? Let's do more.
20% of women have orgasms during intercourse. Only 20%.
Right.
And of those women, it's not every time. Most women orgasm
Right.
through oral sex and through
And Jeff's only had sex
fingers.
with 20%.
Well,
And
just
so
like
if you've
society,
never- if
ladies.
you've
You got to
never-
do some things yourself.
If you've never made a woman come with your mouth, I guarantee there's some work to do.
Okay.
How much time do we have?
Well, here's
I
the
mean,
thing.
next week.
I
I don't have to be anywhere till noon tomorrow.
Yeah,
I know
I have a flight tomorrow at 6:30. But
No, but so here's the thing.
I make time for oral.
I didn't say it couldn't be better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everything could be better.
Everything.
Yeah.
My sex life could be better.
Right.
All the time. Yeah. I
Yeah,
get
so
it.
that's true.
Cool.
I also didn't say like I'm a machine. Just these women are loving it. I was talking from first person, Jeffy. Sex is
But that was
fantastic.
the first thing.
Yeah,
it was
man,
never about the
fantastic
other
sex.
person. And I'm telling you.
For me, it's been a home run.
Guys like you drove me into my job.
Okay, well then here's the thing. Here's what I would say: a call to action for women, like every other subject of feminine stuff. Speak up. Say what you want. Get what you want. Men have been doing it aggressively.
I want
and
to fist bump you now.
There we go. Come on.
you see what I'm saying?
Oh, Japanese fist bump. It's my
Like
signature
literally, that's
move.
what my show is all about. It's 50-50. I blame
But how
women.
many times have you heard
I
the
blame
sentence like,
women
"We
just.
never orgasm.
I
We'll
blame-
make it happen."
If you've listened to my podcast or my show, I've got 20,000 hours of content. That's
Yeah.
all I talk about is that women are just as guilty as men. The
Right.
reason why everyone is disappointed with sex is because nobody talks about it. And women could say, you know what? What would make me feel really good is if we slowed things down, your dick is not going to make me come. But if you put your mouth on my pussy for about 20 minutes, that could happen. Or you use
Those are all
lube,
medical
or you
terms,
weren't
of course.
intimidated by my vibrator and your mouth and your fingers, then I'd come. But most women are like, oh,
Right.
guys, penis tall, he's hot, I'm going to fuck him. And then I'm going to go home and use my vibrator.
Why'd you point at Jeff when you did all that?
Aaron, you know exactly why. She started with tall.
I know. That's exactly why I was like, huh?
You would be a sensitive lover, maybe more so. I think.
Thank you.
Maybe not.
No.
I'm just telling you, trying to help
All
you.
of us.
I don't know.
Why am I not allowed to be sensitive?
One, number two,
Because he knows
number
that he's emotionally.
7,000.
You're sensitive because you know that you're having problems with emotions.
There we
That's
go.
why he feels he cries.
And I
Thanks for
communicate
calling
openly and
Thanks for
easily.
calling me number one.
Yeah, Tony would be number one. I would be number two. Aaron would be the millionth.
This is not bashing. This is helping. Like I'm like, I get it, dude. I get it. But we've all women don't speak up enough. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
and I think
about lots of
anything.
things. And so do men. Men don't speak up emotionally. They have to say what they feel. You have to say, listen, this is what I need from you, or I'm going to flee this relationship.
literally
or this is
before
what I'm
you
gonna do,
have sex,
or
you should
I'm
be like,
going to
what are you
cheat.
down with? Yeah.
You're driving me to be attracted to other women because this behavior is frustrating me. So the way a man need to man up and be more vocal about emotions and social issues and things that they struggle with feeling like is the same thing women have to do in their lives.
Absolutely. You're
Yeah.
100% right. Thank you.
It's true.
You're right.
Yeah.
I love it. We all have to talk about sex more, which is how this all started. We don't, and a lot of
You
women
need
don't
to
know
talk
what they
about
like.
sex less, I think, to be honest.
I do?
I'm worried
That's
about
true,
your
yeah.
life.
I know, literally, it's like I've been talking. This is my longest.
I imagine if we dated, you'd come home and be like, I don't feel like it. I spent all day talking about dicks and blowjobs. I'd rather not. How about we
Yeah,
just
and then
watch
you-
a movie? And I'm like, ugh.
I
what
know,
the
right?
fuck?
You would turn on wrestling and she's like, never mind, let's talk about sex.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't know. It's very different.
It'd be like a
I think that
prostitute
chefs
coming home.
still
She doesn't
wanna
want to have
eat.
sex when she comes home.
No, but I think like a cook, a chef still wants to go home and eat.
Yeah, some real bullshit food though.
Maybe they're like,
Wants
I'm not
like a
going to whip it up. Right. I actually
frozen
cut
pieces.
corners when I have sex.
That's interesting. I don't know what I was going to ask. Oh, that's what I was going to ask because this is a lighter question. You said, no, I don't mind going deep. And we kind of did. I talked about
whatever.
I was excited to
I
go
can go
deep.
deep,
So, but here, I know,
right?
but this is just a funner question.
Fun's good.
So
We don't talk like this. This is the most I got to know about Jeff in this
I
subject.
love this.
Tony's almost
I
been
feel
totally
like this
quiet,
is a real
which was
bonding moment
expected.
for you guys.
I'm just
no, so
here
I
for
want to
that.
know, and this is a lighter question. What is the stupidest thing anyone's ever asked you when you do these kind of things?
Oh, give me 20 minutes.
What things, like podcasts or my radio show?
Podcast, but like people call in, you take calls and stuff.
I don't
like that.
think anything's stupid.
Nobody's ever asked a question. You're like, what?
You ever been
No.
shocked by it? Like completely floored? Like
Yeah, I
you're
imagine
trying to
somebody
run
would
the
say
radio
like,
show and like you have no answer.
what
'cause
should
you're
I
just
do
like,
if I'm attracted
man.
to children and stuff? I mean, somebody must have asked something that you were like, this is horrible
I
and
know
a
you
red
asked the
flag.
guest, but if I have an example when I did 911, that there was a grandmother who called because her granddaughter was having her period for the first time and she couldn't understand why her granddaughter was bleeding.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like I
That's-
don't know how a
Whoa.
grandmother would not know such
It
a
was
might
like
have
life
had
goes on when
Alzheimer's.
Corky's girlfriend got her period, and he's like, "You're bleeding," and then she's like, "No, Corky," like he didn't understand.
Yeah.
just
Have you
like
seen that
that.
episode?
Just like that.
No, but I
It actually
totally
happened,
get it.
and I was
Yeah.
like, "Why are they putting this on
I
television?"
was really worried about the impression you were going to jump into.
I know, I
was
did.
like, "Ah, blah, 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 blah,
Might have to edit that. So go ahead.
Nothing's that crazy. Honestly,
Nothing's
like
nothing's been a weird one.
I don't get thrown that much. Like literally, guys call into the serious show. They're like, I'm totally straight, but I like to wear women's underwear, and when I'm having sex with my partner. Is that weird? I'm not gay. I'm not whatever. And honestly, I've gotten that question 50 times. So to me, is that weird? No. To you, you might be like, he's gay. No, guy.
Wait, is there a
people have
masculine
turned on-
women's underwear or something? Or?
No, some men like to wear women's underwear. I don't. I think for this purposes,
weird
to answer your
thing.
question, you haven't
That is
heard a
weird
lot.
to me, yeah.
To me, most things are kind of fine. You're all fine. If you're not hurting anybody, there's no consequences. You're not losing your job. You're not like doing something bad. Like you're fine. Like people. So no, nothing is that. I don't know. Jamie, my producer's here. Is there anything crazy we've heard lately that blew our mind? She's literally working.
Like a couple people have fart fetishes.
Oh, they'd like that.
Strange,
Guys like
hilarious.
poop shit.
Silly.
Ugh.
Here's
No,
one.
No.
If I get a vasectomy, is it gonna ruin my sex life?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But
What's the
there are
probably?
sometimes complications,
Oh,
but
yeah.
very rare.
Yeah, then that's great.
I mean,
because someone was like, "Don't get a vasectomy, dude. It will
You can't-
it'll ruin your sex life."
because you literally don't want to have kids.
No,
That's
I
why?
just think it's irresponsible to be maybe making that scenario happen
could
unless
also
I'm
use
until
condoms
I'm
for a while until
ready
you-
to have a baby.
But you can't
Or-
reverse it.
Yeah, you can. Famously, you
Do
can
not-
reverse a vasectomy.
Okay, but please don't do that. Just use those freaking condoms. They're amazing. Don't
What-
get a vasectomy because
What's
you don't want to. You
easier,
just want to go
a
fuck.
10-minute procedure in a man's office that I never have to put one of these awful, weird things on my
A
wiener? again?
vasectomy is when you wear a condom, Jeff.
No, it's not.
You still need a condom for protection. I know you don't think it's real, but like chlamydia is fucking crazy right now,
I had it once.
and HIV is coming back. FYI, AIDS.
I had. I
Just
don't do
saying.
butt stuff. I had a chlamydia
I don't even
once.
play
Doesn't matter.
basketball.
Could still happen. Herpes, lifetime partner.
Ugh.
There you go.
Yeah. Talk about commitment. Herpes.
We're getting dark again. Do you
Yeah.
really want to get into to STDs? We can, but you
I don't
you
wanna talk
don't
about
get a
STDs.
vasectomy. Please don't. You
Why?
might want to have kids because
What
you
do you
might
mean,
want to kids. Just
please
use
don't?
condoms.
Emily,
just-
we met today. What are you
I don't
begging
want
me
you
not
to-
to get a vasectomy
I
for?
just don't want you to fuck up your dick and then be upset.
Yeah. You just don't want to recommend it.
I wouldn't know.
She's
I
saying
would,
don't cork your bat, bro.
That's the opposite.
that's awesome. Cork your bat. Never heard it that
But
way.
that would be like a Viagra joke, not a
that's
vasectomy
the-
joke.
Yeah.
Right, but still
It just
bad.
sounded good.
It's like a dick.
Rhythmly, you know.
Do you, Tony? You haven't said a thing about
Tony,
sex.
what is up?
No one's talking. I'm just here.
Have
you
you
know,
been boned out
question
once in
we,
this interview?
we had to
Are we having
dissect
fun?
him.
Is this a good show?
Yeah, this is great. This
Okay.
is great.
I've
Everything's
shared
great.
a lot of things that I probably am going to regret. Go ahead.
You can't just like hey, go talk.
Now
Like,
it's
I feel
you.
more
You
vulnerable
guys are-
here than I have with people I've had sex with.
because the questions were being aimed at you. Nothing was being aimed at me. That's the
Oh,
only
because
reason
I
I've been
just
saying.
didn't feel you were as open to.
How many
very
partners have
open.
you had, Tony?
Oh, here we go.
That's a big one. Like I'm dating him.
Yeah.
Don't ever ask that question
I would never.
when you're dating
I
someone.
also have no
Yeah, no.
interest in knowing people. Tony, I have,
Yeah,
I have a
exactly.
greater interest in knowing Tony's partners than any woman I've ever been with.
All right.
Good old one pitch over here.
Yeah. 6.
The pause made him so uncomfortable.
Like,
I like the looking around. It's like, is that okay
6.
for you guys? Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
He's just a good guy.
you want
Tony, I
kids?
love you no matter how many
Tony,
chicks
you
you
want a
have or have
relationship
not.
I
and
do.
kids?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
kids?
I do.
Oh, you
You'll
can
be
have
a
Jeff.
great dad, Tony.
Yeah.
And I'll hang out
Tony's
with the kids.
warm. Tony's sweet.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's one of my
Good
favorite
man.
people.
Try to be.
He's a good man.
So what's holding you back from finding that right now?
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh,
man?
shit, bro.
Are you
I
on
don't
the
know,
dating
I haven't
apps?
No, not really. I've like dabbled in it and just not enjoyed it.
Yeah, the apps
met,
are annoying.
Met people and just like, not
Not into
Yeah.
it.
not into it. I don't know, just not. I don't know. I'm just not looking for it right now.
Okay,
Just
that's a
busy
good tool.
doing all this stuff.
It's good
and
to
just-
know when you're not in it because it takes so much pressure off. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
in a relationship. A lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves,
Mhm.
and the best thing you can do is be like, right now,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go
Yeah, 'cause- and
do
my-
nothing, or I'm just gonna go
and
bang, or I'm just gonna not bang.
my last one was a nightmare, or ended up being a nightmare at the
you
end.
get-
So
say
it's
her
just
name?
kind of like no.
Say
Okay.
her name.
That's
fun.
Yeah, and so
We just
now
like
I'm
to
just
do
cool,
shout-outs
just
to the
not,
podcast.
just not worrying about it right now.
I was accused a few weeks ago by a girl of saying, it was playful, but she was like, oh, so you just don't want to be in a relationship because you want to have sex with as many people as you want. And it's like, it has nothing to do with the sex. Nothing to do with the sex. It's the fact that my freedom of time, like
Yeah.
the fact that I can, it's a corny quote or whatever, but like Bob Dylan says, like he woke up in the morning and he went to bed at night and in between he did whatever the fuck he wanted. And I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with the fact that like, I don't have to check in. I'm never gonna have to
Yeah.
talk to somebody's friend that I don't want to talk
Yeah.
to. I don't like being dragged to things. I don't want to be like, you can't go do comedy tonight because we're doing a dinner. Like I don't,
I get it.
that's the liberation that I seek, is being able to see whoever I want like friendship wise or flirtatious wise on my own terms. I don't know how many times girls will be like, let's get drinks tonight. I'm like, yeah. And I was really on board with it when I said yes. And then at like 7 p.m., I'm like, never mind. I'm going to go to bed or I'll make up something because I just don't want to do that anymore. But when it's my girlfriend, I can't. She's going to start hating that. Like, what do you mean you just...
Well, maybe, but here's the thing. I would say that I get that because I'm very much the same way.
Of me.
But maybe you'll find someone eventually, or not ever, but perhaps if you're interested, you might find someone who totally has their own life too, and they're cool that you do your own thing.
Right. But then why would I want to be with them?
What do you mean?
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what that would just be what I'm doing now.
Because then you'd have like you for sure have guaranteed sex with someone that you know could actually probably get better and be really great.
Bro.
Yeah. It's possible to have someone who, but I get it. Like, and also when you're like working your career and life, like I found it very hard for a long time to, even now sometimes, be in a relationship when I was like working, and I was like, I felt exactly the same way. If anyone tried to infringe on my space and time, I'm like, you're out, you're done.
Right.
I was very much
and
like
also,
a dude.
I've famously, ever since I was a young man, been very one-tracked. So if there's something I'm working on, it's because I'm like just driving in on, I'm just obsessing almost on doing this thing. And they're like, oh, he's the best at this. So like when I'm being a boyfriend, I'm the best boyfriend. I'm planning vacations. I'm taking them out. I'm like doing things.
He takes me to nice brunches.
I'm buying gifts. I'm thinking of little playful things. I'm sending them songs. I'm making them laugh all day on text because I'm being the best I can at that. And it's because that's what I want to be doing.
But what do they want?
But then my career dips and all these other things dip, and I go, like, oh my gosh.
But that's,
and then it's hard.
I see it all now.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Totally, but that's been your experience in the past. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't have to be your experience going forward. Just because in the past you're with the women, you're like, where are you going? You're coming over. Right? That
I seem to be attracted to those type of gals.
Yeah, but that's to me is such a I know those women. I understand them. I'm not
They're
friends
great.
with that.
Besides that trait.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can meet someone who's like got her own shit going on and she's cool and she's like, you do you, I do me. If you text me, I won't read it. Like in my last relationship, I was like, babe, I say to him, I know you're funny and cute. You're sending me great things. Do you care that I never text you back because I'm so busy? And he's like, oh, no, I literally don't care. So like, I don't want that. I'm busy all day long. I've got my own stuff. And I think you'd find someone. So what you're deciding, okay, here's a thing right here. Mm-hmm. In your brain, you've decided
you out,
that,
Emily?
Oh, do I seem stressed? No, I'm just so into like figuring this out. Right. You've decided that relationships are going to be pain for you and that you're going to have to do all these things. You're going to have to do all these things that some women might not want.
Racket. I don't
but they might not want that. You can't assume that every woman's going to want that.
So you're saying the problems I have with my mom aren't the problems I'm going to have with my next mommy?
Well, you might. Maybe. If you haven't done the work. Only if you're into that sort of thing, daddy.
My next mommy. Aaron likes to joke about blood sex.
I make a lot of jokes about blood.
It's one of his most favorite jokes.
And soaking.
And it's my least favorite.
This is the second blood sex thing we've talked about.
Me?
Didn't we talk about something about periods?
He did.
He did, yeah.
Twice.
It's all he talks about.
It's all he talks
interesting.
about.
It's one of his
No, wait a second.
It's one of his go-to gags.
No, wait,
gags.
because when I talked about periods,
It was sincere.
medical. But it was medical.
very sincere.
It wasn't a shock joke.
But it still had to do
but
with
it's happened
blood.
twice in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Do you know, so
I'm off duty here. We don't have to analyze everyone
a
anymore.
man,
No, that's fine. I don't mind being analyzed.
that I call
fact, I
my
like it.
dad, Terry
I
Bradshaw.
know you do. I know you like it. I can tell.
A man that I call my dad, Terry Bradshaw, didn't know that gay men have sex in their butts until
your dad
literally last year. How crazy is that? He's
come up-
he's
Jeff had to
7
tell
years
him.
old now, and I had to explain, and we were laughing so hard. He had no idea. He goes, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, they have sex with their wieners and the and he's like, "No," and I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "No," and we're like, "What did you think they were doing?" And he's like, "I don't know. I thought they had their wieners in their mouths and all that." Like he had no idea.
Your dad.
Yeah, crazy, right? And he's like, "Even with AIDS?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, that was the 80s.
That's
We've
kind of a
worked on
thing
it.
that
Let's
happened.
Did
talk
you show
about
him a video? I mean, we
No.
have the internet on our phones.
Oh, that would blow.
Where are you
Aaron,
from? Where did you
that
grow
would
up?
ruin his week. What's that?
Where do you live? Where did you grow up?
I'm from Seattle. That voice I was doing for him is Oklahoma. He's from Oklahoma. Or he's from
Oh.
Louisiana, technically.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, I'm telling you. People, that's why we
Apparently
don't talk
the
about
doors
it.
closed
Clearly,
very
no
well
one ever
in
talked about it.
Louisiana.
Okay, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
When the young people talk about eating ass,
Yeah.
what does that even mean?
What do you think it means?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
Analingus?
So they're using their tongue on someone's butthole.
Did you know only 20% of men come through analingus?
Is that true?
I'm just combining
Wait, you
things
don't
she
hold
said
on to
earlier.
a stat there. And
Yeah, I
Call that.
store things for no reason.
Yeah.
why is eating ass all our age?
Not why is it? I just don't know what it even means or what it looks
guess it
like or
means,
how
like-
any of it.
What
I know
it looks
nothing
Oh, I
about
think we
it.
have the internet on our phone.
It's the first sign of me getting old that I'm like, what?
You're like your
These
dad.
kids
gay
are doing
sex.
what to each other?
Right.
Yeah.
That dude
You
who comes
are
out
your
of there.
father.
Huh?
You are your father.
Yeah, I'm
you
the
see
new
eating-
version.
You're the new
Yeah,
version.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. And then
Your father's
when
son.
I'm very old, my kids will be, I cut her foot off and had sex
So you're
with the
having
stump.
kids.
I'd be like, what?
Right.
That's called a foot job, dude.
No, just for that
I
weird
get it for the
example.
joke.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I might have kids. I told you I'm open to. I
don't
don't know.
get the vasectomy. I know you might have kids. Analingus is when you like lick you like lick your partner's ass. You
Wait,
put your
what?
tongue in it after shower. And
Has
you
this
clean.
always been a thing?
I think that 2017 was the year of analingus, anal licking.
Okay.
Wasn't that a podcast we called 2017 the year of anal licking?
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
I believe
Lay it down.
that my butthole is probably hairy. That's gonna be a problem.
Oh, dude, we can fact check that. You don't have to believe it anymore.
Let's please not. Let's
Would
please
that make
not.
girls not want to do the anal thing to me?
I don't know.
Probably.
No, girls
Depends on
are
the girl,
not.
dude.
Would you not want to go? Would you go down on a girl if she had hair?
Yeah, but not her butt.
Not in her butt.
Not
You
a
would want
butt
no
thing.
butt hair, right?
I don't want no butts. Nothing. I don't want.
You want no butt nothing.
I have a
It's
butt.
not-
Nothing. Is that a problem? Do you think
No.
that makes me close-minded? That I want nothing to do with butts?
No. I think it's case by case basis. Some women do,
So
some
it's
women
okay.
don't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, dude,
close-butted,
you
but not
do
close-minded.
So here's the thing. Some
people are
people
into
might
it.
say. Some people
Crushing
like DJ Khaled says, "Hey, I don't go down on my wife." Right?
Yeah,
You'd say that's a problem.
that is a problem.
Right. However, if I say I don't want to lick another person's butt, you're like, that's okay.
Yeah, she's
It's
cool with it.
different though because for so many women, that's the only way they can orgasm.
It'd be unfair.
And it's like kind of saying you don't like. What if a girl was like, "Nah, I don't do blowjobs. I won't put your dick in my mouth."
Right. I imagine there's some girls out there that are like that.
Yeah,
Well, I
there
can
are.
help Jeff.
And
that's
I'm
a
not those
problem.
girls. I tell the
That's
girls
a
the same
problem.
thing. That is a problem.
Good for
Unless
you.
you find a partner. No,
doing the Lord's
it's
work.
50. I fucking am doing the Lord's work, dude. I am.
I believe that. I wasn't being silly.
If
I
you
know.
don't go down on a girl, it's like not using the turbo button in an NBA Jam, Jeff.
Yeah,
you
which-
know,
why
that
would
doesn't
you do
unlock
that?
all the
Good.
moves.
Why would you do that?
That's not the game we have behind.
Yeah, but he's making a great point. That's how I learned.
Exactly. You want to
I
use
should-
all the tools so you can get all the
Yeah,
dunks.
use all the fucking tools. But analingus is that is like Olive
Stop
Heart.
talking about it.
I know, dude. You,
You
brought it up.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
the one that
see
brought it up.
I don't even like talking. But I don't
Don't
even
You
like talking
keep
about it.
using the medical term.
I know. I don't know
Yeah.
why I can't help
Yeah.
it. I'm a doctor.
It sounds like you got to
It's
say it
really
like
hard
this.
to be like ass eating. When I'm
Did
like
that- did
analingus.
that medical-
Analingus rolls off your tongue more
Yeah,
than like
did-
ass.
Does it?
Did that
Not
medical
my
term?
tongue.
Did that medical term come up in 2017, or was that previously a medical term?
No, I don't remember. We had a podcast about it, and then they kept coming up. Like literally, so I've been doing this for a long time, like I said, and I
Heathens have
noticed
probably been doing it for a long time.
long time.
Freaks.
Analingus precedes even our
These young
ancestors.
people.
Not my ancestors. I got defensive. I'm sorry.
No.
Now, do you think analingus is making the
I
bidets
don't
sad?
even know.
They're like, hey, but that's our job.
Yes, bidets are crying all over the world.
Which
Second
looks
time-
exactly like getting used. They're just tears. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I don't know. But it's like porn, I think, has made it the rise. I just feel like an NPR. The rise of analingus is due
Yeah.
to pornography.
Well, and I do think you're right. I think, like with me, like the first time I ever had sex, had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
Had no idea. But nowadays, young
But
people
now
see
you
porn
know.
so much, they have like a whole thing where they're just like, oh, I know that I start with this part.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It starts with lies, and I get interviewed on a couch, and then
exactly.
then I go
And
down.
then I
on
get the
guy,
job.
Yeah.
Then he goes down on me for a little while, and then we have sex. And like kids have like learned the actual
this
order.
is my problem with porn. Not that it's not amazing and great, turns us all on.
That
we
it's
all love
linear?
porn.
Yeah.
No, my problem with porn. Wait, there's a plot. No, I wish there were more plots. The problem with porn is that
I hate the
for a lot of
plots.
kids, that's all they've ever seen
Right.
is porn, and then they assume that's how it should happen, and they have sex. Like, why didn't
What
six
else
of
are
her
they
friends show
supposed to do?
up? Well, that's the
They're
problem.
like, there wasn't
Now
even
that-
blood here.
There was no blood. Dude,
Oh my
third time.
God, Aaron.
Jesus, this is like fucking more blood.
I just did a hat trick, guys. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
just going to go around the table.
You're out. You
Victory
did it. You
lap
win.
the
for
worst.
Marsh.
He's the worst.
I told you what you're getting into with him.
That's why
I
at the
wonder.
beginning of the podcast, like when he said something, you like were so happy he was so warm. We were like, no.
Yeah, like,
We were-
wait,
Now you're learning the real
wait a
Aaron.
second. Just
You-
because
yeah.
I
We're
can
like
make
a
a lot of.
family. We've been here for like 6 hours,
That's
right?
true.
When you said I'm very deflective, that's just true. My personality and the whole reason I do these
but
jokes.
that's another thing that
but
we
I'm also
became
not afraid to
very
be
close about.
vulnerable. Yeah.
Because your deflecting are usually great jokes, and I just want everything to be a joke, so I'm attracted to people who just make a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Whether it's deflecting or not. I love it's like Jerry Seinfeld says, if you're not going for the laugh, what are we doing here? And that's
Yeah.
how I go through life. Is like, I make jokes like
Yeah.
at my sister's funeral because that's how I deal with emotion. Like unless it's like a
You
one-on-one
did make a
thing.
joke at her funeral?
Yeah,
Lots
there's a lot
of
of blood
jokes.
there.
Yeah, lots of jokes.
I'm sorry your sister died.
Yeah, thank you. It was
That's tough.
one of the worst things that ever happened to me.
No,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
awful. Yeah. But at that, people were like, because I smile a lot and I was just goofing around a lot. And I think they expected me to be all like fragile and broken. And I was like, no, I'm definitely broken. But like, I'm still going to be silly and playful.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But I also like the challenge of having a doctor talk really openly about sex and be like, but I bet I can make her crack a little bit. I bet I can get a little laugh out of her.
Well, she's not
Oh,
like
I'm
a
not
real
funny.
doctor. Look at her.
No, but I'm not like serious. This is like literally the most serious I've been all day. I'm really not.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a crack.
This is
on
the
it?
most serious.
Yeah, I'm being serious with you guys. Well, you said I was being intense. I don't know.
No,
I'm real.
no. I'm not accusing you of being
I'm like,
overly
I hate
tense or
that.
serious. I'm just
I'm
saying
not
making a
serious.
doctor laugh seemed to be like a challenge, so I went after it.
Oh,
Right.
you did. You made me laugh. You all made me laugh.
Yes, thank you. I
I
was.
love to laugh.
Well, before we go, who made you laugh the most? I'm just kidding. That's so stupid.
You're
How
also-
can people? How can we help your career? What should we plug?
How
You
can we
should-
make people afraid of sex so they have to go to your podcast?
I think everyone. Sex with Emily.
Do you do
SexWithEmily.com.
one-on-one sex?
I do not.
Therapy.
But people can call me Monday through Friday if you have Sirius XM or not. You can call in. I have a podcast. It's all at sexwithemily.com. If you do have Sirius, it's 5 to 7 p.m. every night, Monday through Friday, and my podcast 3 times a week.
I'd like you to
At
talk
Sex
about
Emily
other
Instagram.
stuff. Can we just call in and get to know you?
Yeah, totally.
Ask you like
That
regular
would be
stuff.
interesting because sometimes
What's
I'm
your
like,
favorite band? Do you like records?
yeah, totally.
What's your thoughts on country music? Things like
I
that.
like
she
country
hasn't
music,
answered any of
actually.
this.
Yeah,
Those were all
Who
very
is your
similar
favorite band?
questions.
I know. Because
say
I was trying to
Wilco.
think off the top of my head. Do you like
Interesting choice.
sports?
Sometimes. I like being at sporting events, but I won't watch sports. That just doesn't interest me.
Everyone likes being at the sporting event.
But that's all I like then.
You don't like
so I'm
watching
like
it.
everyone.
You like being at stuff.
I don't
'cause
follow
you're
sports.
a social gal.
Yes. I like interacting with people.
Where are
That's
your
what I do.
ancestors from?
Eastern Europe.
Who's made you starstruck?
Bill Clinton.
You met Bill
Ah.
Clinton.
Yeah.
Was he
Where?
with Hillary?
How?
I was at a Nobu in Aspen.
Would you consider yourself a really political person since the person that made you starstruck was Bill Clinton?
Yes. I used to work in politics before I worked in sex.
Oh, really?
So that's why.
Talk about
I
separate
worked
worlds.
in politics for
Well,
a while. Not really.
Yeah. No, she went
I
straight
know.
to the actual power.
Who else made me
but here's the thing: is
starstruck?
like they should be being lectured about
He's
being more
not even
open
celebrity.
with
But I
sex.
don't recognize celebrity. Here's the thing: I don't watch a lot of TV. Like I meet famous like celebrities. I lived here for 6 years.
Yeah,
I don't know people. I could have full on conversation. I really don't know a lot of.
right.
Have you met TV's Jeff Dye?
Yeah, today.
Are you on TV?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's a poster of him from TV behind Tony.
In his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
I
cool.
hung it.
The whole cast signed it.
Oh,
So it's a cast gift.
All the guys.
awesome. Where are you in that?
I'm on the far right. With
Oh,
He's the one
Who is
scratching
that?
his head looking confused.
They make you look shorter there.
Well, they're all in their 70s, and I'm
I get
I'm
it.
like their little bitch that
Oh,
carries
cute.
the bags
I
and books the hotels. And if you watch the show,
I don't.
I'm the
but-
least. I know you don't. If you watch this, you just went on a little tirade about how down to earth you are because you don't watch TV.
No, it wasn't down to earth. It's a problem. It's a liability living in LA and not watching TV.
Jeff,
I
you have to be the
realized-
president of the United States before she recognized you.
Yeah. Well, no, that's why it was a great question to say who's starstruck you
Yeah.
instead of
I
who's
know
the most
that's
famous.
told a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
No, it's
It's a good spin on this.
Yeah, I would say like I'm one of the most important parts of the show, but definitely the least famous because I'm the viewer. When the viewer watches, like, what would it be like to be on
Yeah,
vacation
he's
with
the
those
C-3PO.
four guys?
Yeah, they're amazing.
You
those
get to
guys.
witness that through me because they're so ridiculous and so old and so rich and so famous that like they're
Did you learn stuff from them?
completely have no
Not the
idea
right
how regular
stuff.
people behave anymore. They're talking about private jets and owning thousands of horses, and you're like, what planet
It's
do
a
you guys
lot
live
of
on?
poop too.
Oh God,
Horses, a lot. Of
they got
thousands of
people for that.
horses. True that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're a delight,
Oh, thank you.
and I like being around you. So thanks for doing this
This was
podcast.
fun. My pleasure.
What's your socials again? One more time.
It's all Sex with Emily across the board. At Sex with Emily, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you have a sex question, feedback at sexwithemily.com.
I was nervous to search Sex with Emily because I was afraid like maybe
Your mom was going to come over.
I should just Google like Emily Morse or something
Oh, you do that
instead
too?
of Sex with Emily might be like some cam girl or some, you know what I'm saying? I was nervous,
What'd you
but it
find?
didn't.
I
It
don't
went
even know.
first thing right up came to you right away.
Cool.
So
Thank
I was
you.
afraid to find my ex-girlfriend Emily. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
done
well,
with
then
that.
all the videos come up in your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron, what do you got going on, man? Where can they find you?
Aaron M. Marsh, Instagram. I don't know exactly what I'm doing this week of July 9th through
July 9th, no.
January 9th.
January 9th. But it's my birthday week, so happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
in the
Happy
future.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
dude.
birthday. When's your
Thanks.
birthday?
January 12th.
When this airs.
It airs January.
Okay. Oh, Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year,
yeah,
everyone.
we just did it. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Not really, no. I mean,
Why?
I don't know.
Mine's to be
You
perfect.
seem like a gal who's always making goals. That's all resolutions
No.
are is goals.
But it's so cliche, like January 1st.
Mm.
But no, we are doing a whole thing on my show actually that's like sex, your sex goals for the new year.
Sex
so we're
goals?
all gonna have the people that like
More,
work on
more,
sex
more.
explorations, more sex, but yeah. Tune into my show right now, and I will be stating what my resolution yet. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Oh, I like
Tony,
that.
do you have any New Year's revolutions?
Revolutions?
Yeah. What do you got going
Yeah, what are you
on?
gonna revolutionize?
Oh, man.
Che Guevara?
What?
Yeah, that's the New Year's revolution.
What do you got?
I don't know.
Nothing?
I don't know.
I know
I'm not
I
big on
noticed
them
you had a
either.
salad earlier today. Maybe
did,
you're
yeah,
losing
yeah.
some weight.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for you.
That's everybody's, but you know.
I know. But you said that, and I was like, oh, what a good guy. I
Yeah.
just love you. I'm not sure where I'm at this week, but go to jeffdye.com. You can find all my dates and where I'll be popping up. Also, all my socials are at Jeff Dye. And I'm thinking about starting a podcast called Cunnilingus with Jeff Dye.
Oh, dude, can we do Anglingus
Yeah.
with Jeff Dye?
Never.
All right, just
it
checking.
won't happen.
We're
All
2
right,
years
guys.
behind.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Friendship.
That episode. Big thank you to Emily Morse for coming in here and putting up with my bullshit. We had a good time. If you want to find her, go to sexwithemily.com. I promise that's not a porn site. It's a very professional site where she can answer your questions about relationships and sex. If you want to find where I'm performing this week, go to jeffdye.com or just look up Jeff Dye on all the social medias and you'll be able to find me. We love you guys. Like I said, if you're not a Patreon subscriber already, we would love it if you would. Please share this podcast. Please rate this podcast and just go out there and show somebody some kindness today. That's what this podcast is all about.